Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back. It is the middle of the night and Kelly cannot sleep, so I am going to be art journaling and collaging with you guys to try and calm my mind so that I can get some sleep, because I do have to work in the morning. So I've gathered some pieces that I think look really well together and complement each other, and see if I can't place them in a well done way that is beautiful and tells a story. So I've gathered all these things and I'm going to try and create beauty from them. So sit back, relax, and you can watch me figure it out. You're gonna see me fiddle a little bit with pieces and parts. I've even got some washi tapes that we may incorporate as well. So we shall see what we come up with. I usually use this lid that I have to a box, and I'll just throw everything in it so that I can keep it contained until I'm ready to work on the project, especially if it's got a lot of pieces. So that's where I'm at with that. Now, when I'm not planning and creating and fussy cutting for the camera, I do pages that are what I call de-stressing pages. So I've got an example here. This is a notebook, or actually it's a journal that I use to de-stress. And you guys have seen some of these before that I've done without filming. And they usually take me 2 to 3 hours because I go through my stash, I see what I have, pick out what goes well together, and then I play, usually while listening to a podcast or watching a show or watching other people do art journaling, see what other people are up to. So these are mostly done not only to use up scraps, because a lot of scraps go into the backgrounds, but also to check out my stash and see what I have, what I have forgotten that I have, and practice putting things together, balance, symmetry, playing with cutouts, stickers, placing things together, and seeing what works and finding out what doesn't. So I use these as play sessions to practice, to try new things. This is where I took a biblical passage and broke it up like a mosaic. I've played with some textured papers. I played with some red onion skin. That's what that is, just for texture. So these are fun little pages that I've done just to unwind. To play. This is where I learned, not only watching how other people do things, but also playing by myself to see what I liked, what I didn't, what worked well together, and that kind of thing. So that's what I get up to when I'm off camera. Besides work, I do work. I work outside of my home, and I love what I do. So what I'm going to do now is start playing with colors and textures. I like a little bit of that peeking through. Now I'm not gonna glue the whole thing because I want to leave the option for tuck-ins, tucking in under pieces. Have you guys ever had those nights where you just could not sleep? There was nothing particularly wrong. Yet you could feel that there was an anxiousness from something that you feel was bothering you. Because I don't have any particular stress in my life right now. So not quite sure why I can't sleep, but this is very relaxing for me. So hopefully it will do the trick. I've already pre-cut the daisy petals because I knew I wanted to tuck something in to cause that daisy to pop forward. So I did go ahead and already do that. So I'm already liking these pieces here. And I'm going to go ahead and get those down. Now I have had people ask me, how do you choose? How do you know? And it becomes instinct. I have played with enough papers, colors, textures, shapes in my life, in my art world, and had enough practice that I can look at something and see that's exactly where I want to put it. And that's exactly what I want it to look like. I don't always know going in what things are going to look like, how they're going to turn out. And I've already got a name that's coming up in my mind for this particular collage. And I'm going to be calling it Legacy. I hope everyone's doing well. Leave me a comment and let me know what part of the world you guys are in, where you're watching from, what your name is. I've got things I may not use. Like this particular one was this cut in half. And usually when I have a big design piece like this, I usually, because it is so large, I don't want to cover it up too much. I will usually separate it and usually put one on one end and one on the other. But I may not be using this other side. I'll use it for another journal page. Now what I tend to do at this stage is break up large swatches of images that are bold. And you see how bold this is. And I'm going to bring you guys out just a little bit so you can see. Okay, there we go. So you can see the end of that. So you see how bold and how graphic that is by putting something there in a torn fashion. It softens it. So that's something that I do like to do on the edges, is I like to do corners and double corners. To add interest. I like the fact that these petals are wanting to pop up. It gives it more of a 3D effect. Now this has a corner that's perfect. So what I tend to do with those, instead of putting it in the middle of the page somewhere, I will normally line up corner to corner with another corner. It adds balance. It looks like it belongs, like it's part of it. It's part of the building of the collage process. So when you're building collages or art journal pages, pay attention to the straight corners that are perfect. Use those to your advantage so they look like they belong where you place them. Now I want to get this beauty down. found a lot of materials that I had forgotten about. And that's why it's important, if you do this and you have materials, that you shop your own stash, not only to give yourself fresh ideas that get you in the creative mode, but also to use up things you'd forgotten about. Things that are beautiful. Sometimes I'll play with color and pattern to see what I can get to go well that I may not have thought about before. If I'm not sure, I walk away from it. It's a technique an art teacher told me about. She said, when you know something's wrong and you can't see it, walk away. Do something else, and when you come back, your mind will see exactly what's wrong. Because your brain craves balance and symmetry. There is, I think, one time I was building an art journal just off film, just on my own. And I got to a process in the middle of it where I was just not liking anything I was doing. And I knew I had to walk away from it and come back. Well, I came back to it the very next day. And I saw exactly what I didn't like. And I saw exactly which direction I needed to go to remedy it. So it was a nice process to do for myself. So in gathering all these pieces, it seemed the story that was coming forth was a story of legacy. So that's why I chose the name. Don't be afraid to cut your pieces in half and use one half on one angle and another on another angle. It creates symmetry and interest. What I'm doing here is I'm setting this up to tell what looks good. To see where I want to go next. I want to cover this seam right here. And I'm gonna do it with this guy. Can't really read what's on this tape, and it's probably meant to be that way. This guy wasn't wanting to cut. Let's see if I can make him a little bit less raggedy. Now you can do a double and triple washi tape. Quadruple. I've done as much as 4. You can keep piling them on there, however you want to do it. You can even take pieces of washi tape like that you cut off to make it more of a straight edge. You can use them in places that just add interest. Just stick it somewhere. And I'm not liking that place. I'm gonna put it right here. So sometimes you'll put something down and go, nope, that is not the place. And this washi tape too, sometimes it's pretty old. So if it starts to come up and wants to curl back off, just put some glue underneath it. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do, because this little piece right here, he was the end that was exposed for so long that it doesn't surprise me that he doesn't want to stick. Okay. Now I have some other scraps. Now see how I'm going to be going over this piece, and these pieces. That's okay. It adds interest. I'm going straight edge corner to straight edge corner, and it gives you a wonderful distressed effect, almost like peeling paint. It's a good way to use your scraps and add some more colors and textures into your artwork. I was watching a brief video this evening, and I don't remember which channel it was. It was not a channel that I had ever seen before, but she briefly talked about how you have to copyright your junk journals or your artwork before you can sell it. And I've never heard of that before. I've sold several pieces of my drawings and things I did when I was younger, so I'm not quite sure what she's referring to. I guess if you did not want someone to take your junk journal after they bought it from you and claim it as their own creation. And I'm thinking that's probably it. Got these beautiful little butterflies. I put him here to bridge those two corners. And I've got another one. And I already see where I want to put him or her. Butterflies can be male or female. So this empty space right here where these two edges, I'm gonna bridge that. I've got some more daisies. And then I've got a treat. You guys have probably already figured out what I'm going to do. I did pre-roll these stickers because on one of my previous videos I had trouble getting the daisies off. Not the daisies, the other flowers. I had trouble getting them off their backing. So I said I'm going to pre-roll them so you guys don't have to see me struggle. And I see a dark, empty space right here. And don't be afraid to let your stickers cross over onto other images. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We are going to attach some clock hands. You can get these in the craft stores in the section where you can actually make a clock. They sell the wood backings, they sell the mechanisms and the hands, and they sell the black, gold, silver, fancy, straight, Victorian looking. So that's where I got these. Now, here's the hardest part. What time do I want it to tell? I don't want it to be close to midnight. Now this will need to dry overnight, but if I put enough glue on it, Mr. Tombow Mono Aqua liquid glue will handle this business. He does a wonderful job. I have a few pieces that I did not use, but they are beautiful enough for another time. So I will use them on another project. But As you guys that have followed me for a while know, I have one more scrap left. And I don't like to waste my scraps, no matter how tiny they are. Now, he is a straight edge to straight edge, so that's exactly where I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him in the corner. Right here. He's the capstone to that corner. Okay, there she is. Ladies and gentlemen, Legacy. Thank you so much for joining me. I know you'll see this after I upload it. Hopefully by then I will have gotten some sleep, because I do have to be up in the morning. I hope you have enjoyed your time here, and I hope you have enjoyed this process and a little explanation about how I choose and where I go with things. And the best thing about creating art is there is no right way and no wrong way. There's just your way. That's what I love about this business, is it's all about what you want to convey. So thank you so much for joining me and allowing my mind to rest and de-stress. And I will see you guys on the next one.